This is M.
And this is Ken.
And this is just your typical
Boy meets girl.
boy and girl become BFFs.
Straight up BFFs. For life.
Girl asks boy to make some top 5 lists.
Boy decides to film it.
And an internet sensation was born.
Dozens will be entertained.
This is our podcast.
Top 5's Battle Royale.
With cheese.
With cheese.
And welcome.
Welcome.
To M.
And Ken's
Top 5's Battle Royale.
with cheese.
With cheese. I am Ken.
I'm Em.
And we are BFFs and whatnots. As you probably already know, we like to make top 5 lists and argue. And mainly M likes to make top 5 lists and get me angry.
It's my job.
So
My goal in life.
Yeah. So if you've joined us in the past, we've talked about comic book heroes, we've talked about bands,
Celebrity
talked about celebrity crushes,
books.
yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. We have not yet done favorite movies.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so Em got to pick the topic. She picked favorite movies, which means I get to call the coin.
In the air?
Our fancy little Harvey Dent Two-Face coin. And I'm going to go with Harvey Dent.
Ooh, Two-Face again?
Two-Face is on a 7-episode win streak.
Ridiculous.
There is some trickery afoot.
I think.
Because that's just random. That's very weird.
I know, it's getting crazy.
It's getting epically... Harvey Dent had like a solid
he had an epic
lead
run for a while, too.
So that means I lost. Which means I have to go first. Which means I get to do my top 5, my 5th favorite movie.
I'm ready.
Comedy.
Okay.
Went with a comedy. It was just one of the funniest damn movies of all time. A parody, like probably the ultimate spoof movie, if you will.
All right.
Mocking the Star Wars and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Spaceballs.
That is good.
Spaceballs.
That is good.
Talking about
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut. Barf.
Yep.
John Candy, who's amazing.
Yes.
John
Candy is Barf. You're right.
Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Darth Helmet. Dark Helmet was awesome.
We've gone to Plaid.
We've gone to Plaid. That's
a great movie.
What is it? The 1, 2, 3, 4. What kind of idiot would have their code as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the president has his code as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So it's a fun movie, and
that's a great movie.
It has withstood the test of time.
I need to watch that tonight now.
It's funny because I was thinking about I owned it on VHS back in the day. I bought it on DVD,
right?
And now I own it on Blu-ray. And
perfect.
I love Spaceballs. It's been one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie. I haven't seen that in forever, and I still remember.
My favorite scene from the movie is when they're in the desert, and they're like comb the desert, and they're combing.
It's the best.
And they've got the big combs, and then they come up to the black guys, and they've got the pick, and they're combing, and they're like, oh, yeah, they call it. The black guy's like, we ain't found shit. And I love it. I didn't understand it as a kid, why that was funny. They had a different comb, and but I love that movie. Oh my god, I love that movie.
That's a good pick.
It's such a great.
I'm surprised
cast.
It's 5. Gosh, what else do you have?
Well, I've got some great movies. I've got some legendary picks on my list.
I'm sure you do.
And one that everybody knows is going to be on there. So.
And yeah.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right, my number 5 is Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Yeah, love Black Swan. Creepy. I'm not one for big. I'm not one for girly movies at all. So this is probably about as close as we'll ever get to a girly movie on my list. But it's like creepy psychosis. Everybody has a goal and wants to reach their goal, but to drop over the edge and go completely insane whilst reaching said goal is traumatic and creepy. I don't believe that I will ever let my friends' children be ballerinas after that movie. And have you seen? They did some crazy stuff with that movie. There's some interesting, in the club scene when they're dancing. At one point, all of the people in the club turn into Natalie Portman. Oh. There's some really interesting, twists. There's I just keep going back to that part where she's peeling her skin off. Oh my god. Yeah. Nasty. Funny story about that movie. When I saw that movie, I was living with my friends Mike and Cassie. Their daughter was in ballet. Okay. And I saw it on a Friday, and their daughter went to ballet on Saturdays. So came home,
and I was like, oh my god, that movie was twisted.
Sure.
Because like after the first time you've seen a movie, like after the end, you're like, the hell did I just like? What happened? What was
right.
like? You're not confused about what happened, but you're like,
what was that? Yeah.
And you're just like, it's twisted. It's not scary, but it's just twisted.
Right. Yes.
And so I came home and was talking about how weird the movie was. Went to the bathroom and the tutu.
Oh dear.
Was hanging up from the and like I turned on the light and there's this tutu staring me in the face and I'm like, oh, okay, no,
that's it, we're done.
I'm going in the bushes.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's interesting. I do love that movie. Natalie Portman was amazing.
Oh, she absolutely.
I mean, she's always pretty much amazing, but I like that. That's a good pick.
Thanks.
I don't know if I'd put it like, I mean, I wouldn't put it in like anywhere near like my top 10, but it's a good pick.
I think it was just because I've seen it lately, so it was just on my mind, I guess.
My number 4 pick is one of my favorite movies. It's about a writer, and it's got a great cast. And I made Emily watch this before I decided that we could remain friends. Came out a couple years ago.
True story.
Like 2001, I think, by one of the greatest directors, Curtis Hanson. Wonder Boys, Michael Douglas, Robert Downey Jr., Tobey Maguire, Katie Holmes, Frances why can't I think of her last name? Great cast.
Yeah, it really was.
And a great movie, a great story. Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic in it, and so is Michael Douglas. I mean, they're all great actors, but it's great. And if you're like somebody who's creative, it's definitely a must-see movie because it's got such an interesting layer about it with the whole like struggling with your own demons and just the different twists and turns. And so Wonder Boys, it's just, I love the movie.
It's
and
good.
Yeah, number 4, Wonder Boys. Boom.
Alright, my number 4 is a comedy.
Yeah.
It's The Hangover.
The Hangover.
I love The Hangover. I know you're gonna rip on me for it. I don't care. But any movie where you can put Mike Tyson in and make me laugh with a freaking tiger is
playing the piano.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean.
Yes. And, the sequel, not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I actually really enjoyed The Hangover. I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't hate The Hangover.
Right.
I mean, I own it on Blu-ray.
Sure.
Like, I like the movie. It's a very funny movie, but I don't know that, I mean, compared to some other things that could have been on your list.
I don't know. You're always going to have qualms with what I pick.
It's pretty weak sauce. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty weak sauce. But a funny movie. And kind of reinvigorated an R-rated comedy genre, really, when you think about it. We're going to get technical. Hangover. And, I mean, Ed Helms is fantastic. Bradley Cooper's amazing. And, so, there you go. Not what I would have picked, but oh well. It's not my list. It's Emily's list. She can make her own bad decisions. My number 1, arguably the greatest movie ever made. There are probably 2 movies that, have gone back and forth over the years, which is the greatest. The first one is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. Fantastic movie. The other one, Casablanca. Greatest love story ever told. The greatest actor ever is amazing in it. And, Casablanca. I mean, just fantastic movie. I mean, really, it's, the best love story there is. And, I mean, at the end, he just, he puts her on the plane. Like, he tells her he loves her, but he's like, you can't be with, like, you need to be with what you need to be,
Right.
Such a great story and a great, Casablanca, fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it. Have you seen it?
That would be my mom's genre of movie, and so I would say
There's no, okay, when it comes to Casablanca, there's no genre of movie.
Yeah.
It's a tale that it's a movie that's never going to be remade. Because it's that good.
Right.
So that's all I got.
That's good. That's cool. That's cool.
Greatest movie ever made.
So how is it at 3 then?
Well, because the other 2 fulfill a love for me.
I see. Okay. My number 3, no, I'm a superhero fan.
What?
No, I love it. It's superheroes. Yes. I mean, as a superhero movie, think of it just as a superhero movie, one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with the fact that it's a fantastic superhero movie.
It is.
And it was a good movie. But, I mean, top 5 movies of all time? 5 movies?
Think about the movies that Emily sees. Horror flicks, sci-fi films. That's,
You are an adult.
And
free to make your own decisions.
You're right, and those are my decisions.
You are not shackled by the bad decisions that you may make. And as such, you are allowed to watch classic movies.
Right.
and good movies and art house movies. I mean, not that all art house movies are great. Some of them suck, but
it's okay. It's cool.
I mean, again, I don't have any problem with the Avengers. Like, I don't have any problem with these 3 movies, but I mean, on a top 5 list.
It's all good. It's cool.
I don't have words for number 2, other than anybody who knows me knows that I love dinosaurs. Jurassic Park withstands the test of time. Like, the graphics are just as awesome today as they were back in the 90s. I watched this movie, I cannot remember if I've seen it 6 or 7 times. The weekend it opened, I saw it. Back in 94. Like, I love this movie. I've read the book 1.5 billion times. I love the book. I love the movie. It was in 3D. It was awesome in 3D. I went every day, pretty much. Yeah, Jurassic Park.
I'm surprised it's your number 2, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, yeah, my number 1 is, yeah, so. But, I mean, it was my number 2 book.
Sure.
Kind of for the same reason. But I love that movie. Like, I've seen it more than any other movie. And, yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just great. The dinosaurs are as cool looking today. And all they used was puppets. They didn't have the CGI like they do now.
Right.
And they made those dinosaurs look amazingly real. And the way the story is structured, like, there have been debates whether or not it's real. They have done documentaries about whether or not dinosaurs can, in fact, be brought back to life with mosquito blood from amber. Documentaries off of a book that was made into a movie. And Steven Spielberg directed it, and he's the greatest. And so, I mean, the greatest director, one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, Jurassic Park.
Fair enough. All right, my number 2
is never going to be as good as my number 2.
It's all good. You're friendly tonight.
Damn, saucy.
American Beauty.
Oh, I rule. Love that movie.
I love American Beauty.
I love American Beauty. Yeah, that's a quality pick.
What? He agrees with me?
No, I mean, American Beauty, you could make an argument. I think I put that when I was looking at my... I think I listed that somewhere within my...
Did you?
Yeah, I do love that movie. Kevin Spacey is...
stinking amazing.
Amazing in it. And Annette Bening, whom I love. I mean, she's just... God.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Just amazing. So, that's a great pick. I love American Beauty. That is...
I haven't seen it in a really long time.
Bones me. Come on, don't leave me hanging.
Sorry. I haven't seen it in quite a long time, and so, you know, when I was thinking of my list, I was like, you know, I really gotta go back and rewatch it, because I haven't seen it in a while, especially now that I'm older.
Right.
I think it would be even better.
Especially, I mean, I hate to say it, but we're kind of coming to the age of... When the movie came out, we were the same age pretty much as the younger characters in the book, in the movie, and now we're approaching the age of the older characters. It's crazy.
It is a little creepy.
Yeah, this is a great pick. It's actually a fantastic pick.
All right.
Finally, this pick alone avenges all of these other 3 picks. So, all right, my number 1 stars my favorite actor of all time, and it's one of my favorite movies. And the reason it's one of my favorite movies is because the greatest love story in Hollywood history was formed because of this movie. I know, weird with the love stories lately, but...
Yeah, what's going on?
To Have and Have Not. It's backwards.
There you go.
To Have and Have Not. A great movie starring Humphrey Bogart. It's the movie where he met Lauren Bacall, and they fell in love. And, I mean, their love was an epic... Like, if you know anything about their love story, their love story was amazing. Like... Just, he loved her so much, you know, and they met on that set of that movie. It's got some great lines, and as a little factoid, the only movie ever made to credit 2 Pulitzer Prize winning authors. It was based on a short story by Mr. God, I can't think of his name now. God, it's blanking out. The angry, grumpy guy. William Faulkner did the Hemingway. Hemingway wrote the story. Oh God, Hemingway wrote a short story, and William Faulkner adapted it. To the screenplay, and like, just amazing. Like, it's just one of the greatest movies ever made, and I love it. It's just if I've seen Jurassic Park 1 billion times, I've probably seen this about 500 million times.
Fair enough.
And So yeah, I grew up loving the old movies,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I came to Humphrey Bogart.
Right.
Because I saw the Maltese Falcon when I was a kid.
Okay.
Blew my mind how cool that movie was, and there was a Bugs Bunny movie or cartoon or whatever that kind of mirrored that.
Sure.
And so like that just I was like what? And so I just loved old movies as a kid, and so I just fell in love with Humphrey Bogart. I just thought he was the coolest thing ever. Like next to my grandpa and my dad, like Humphrey Bogart was like the man.
He was awesome.
And so I became such a fan of his, and I'm still a fan of his over the years. And yeah, To Have and Have Not is just it's a beautiful love story, fun movie, really quick to watch too. It's not something that drags on and it has any unnecessariness. It really, which I mean you would expect from Hemingway.
I was just gonna say from Hemingway,
you'd be like but Faulkner kind of chopped it up and made it very peppy. So awesome movie, great. You should definitely check it out.
Very good. My number one. I'm sure you're gonna give me crap for my number one.
More than likely.
That's really how it works.
It's kind of been the theme for today.
My
kind of been the theme for 2013.
My number one's Apollo 13.
Oh, ooh.
I like Apollo 13 for lots of reasons. First, I mean, it's just a kick-ass story about American perseverance and American, getting people home after a tragedy, which is pretty cool.
And I mean, a true story too. I mean,
yeah.
it's not, I mean, sure they take their liberties, but
sure. But Tom Hanks, amazing. I mean,
Ed Harris.
Yeah, Ed Harris.
Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kevin Bacon and oh my God, dark-haired guy, Captain Jim, from Forrest Gump. What the hell's his name? Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise. Yeah.
Gary Sinise.
I was gonna say Gary Sinise, and then I'm like, wait a minute, where are you going with it?
No, it was Gary
Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Sorry, my bad.
Captain Jim.
Forrest Gump, not my favorite movie.
Apparently not. I don't even think you've seen it.
Actually, I have like a gazillion times. I actually really like the soundtrack to that movie.
That was a good soundtrack.
Amazing soundtrack. Anyways, okay, Apollo 13. Lots of amazing actors. I mean, just the fact that they, what they went through to make it realistic, going through the parabolic plane dives to shoot the weightless scenes, and it was just a beautifully done film. That was cool.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic movie. It really is a fantastic movie, and just so well done, and so, such a an honest way to tell it too. Like they really were very true to it, and they made the characters very heroic. I mean, what they did was crazy heroic. So, I thought they did a really good job of portraying the characters and making them, just amazing. I mean, it got lost. I think it gets lost in that Armageddon impact shuffle because people are like, but it was a beautiful movie.
I think so too.
That's a good pick. Those are your top two picks are very fantastic.
Cool. Thanks.
Those are three picks I could do without, but they're good. So anyways, those are our top 5 lists. What do you think? Let us know. Share your top 5 lists with us. And we're running out of ideas, people. So really, please leave us some ideas for upcoming lists. Emily, you got to pick this list.
I did, so you're up.
And so I am up, and I, given the Apollo 13 is your pick, I'm kind of feeling nostalgic and historical.
Oh.
So let's go with, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do a event in history that you'd like to go back to.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I like that.
If you could go back in time and see any event, if you could get Mr. McFly to give you his DeLorean for a day,
perfect.
What 5 things would you go back and see? And just witness. Wow. You don't have to be a part of, just witness it.
Just standing in the background?
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool list. I think it's kind of interesting. That'll be fun. That'll be really kind of,
Yeah, I think that's good.
So tune in next week when we talk about our top 5 events that we'd like to go back to in history.
History, jeez.
It's kind of a tongue twister a little bit. Events in history.
Events in history you want to go back for.
Yeah,
right.
You get the gist.
Gosh.
So. All right,
wasn't very good in history.
Yeah, I didn't. I love history, but I wasn't very good in school just in general. Leave us a comment on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, down below on the YouTube here. Follow us. Please send us some love. Send us some ideas. Send us your top 5 lists. And let us know how you feel about the Avengers and the Hangover making
Black
Emily's
Swan isn't
top
terrible.
5 list. I didn't say Black Swan. I said the Avengers and Hangover.
Tyson and a tiger. That's all I'm going to say. Hilarity ensues.
2 of my movies have the greatest actor of all time. I just like to put. Anyway, so
one of them has dinosaurs. I thought it's not a good movie.
What? Oh, seriously? Are you gonna go there?
I'm not gonna go there.
It's Jurassic Park.
It's a good movie.
It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. Join us next week. See you then.
Pouco só deu pra comprar o pedal, a roda e um banco pra sentar.